Hello everyone, I'm Per, and I'm going to be reading and writing some Korean. Now, Korean seems to be a lot harder to learn than other languages simply because it doesn't use the same characters that English does. English uses the letters A, B, C. French uses the letters A, B, C. Therefore, an English person could read a French word quite easily. But when it comes to Korean, it's much more difficult. So all I'm going to be doing is writing out the Korean vowels and consonants and reading them. Now, the first character that we're going to be doing is that. And this one is very easy since it is completely silent. It makes no sound at all. We're just going to attach it to other characters. So, the first character that we're going to write is this one. And very simply, this makes an A sound, just like apple. A. If we were to write the same character again, but with two lines, an extra dash going across, that creates a ya sound. So we have a and we have ya. In the same way that if we do a character but with the line facing the other way, we create a o sound. O. And if we do the same thing, but with an extra dash going in that direction, we create yo. So we have a, ya, o, yo. Relatively simple. If we then do another character, which is this one here, this is simply an o sound. It's kind of similar to this one. In fact, a, ya, o. Yeah. This one is an o, this one is an o. So they are close, but not exactly. And of course, since the pattern is the same, if we were to put an extra line going like that, this would create a yo sound. So a, ya, o, yo, u, you. Okay? And again, if we have this character here with the line going down, this is simply an oo sound. It's the type of sound you would get in the middle of the word moon. So when you say moon, there's this sort of oo sound to it. So that's oo. And if we were to do another one with the line coming down, that would create a u. Oops, a u sound. So we have a, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you. Okay? Very simple. Next one is nice and easy. Not that, because that's the letter M. It's this one. This one is kind of like a sound. So different to oo, different to o. Next one is also very easy. It's just that, which is a sort of E sound, which you could write like that, kind of like in the word meat, M-E-E-T, meat, it's an E. So we have a, o, a, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e. Now these are the sort of simple vowels, but then you can connect them together to make even more vowels. And this is where it does get a little bit more complicated, but we're just going to write them out. I'm just going to read them. So, our first one that we want to do is not that. Not that either. That. No. No. None of these. It's amazing how it's none of these at all. It is that one. This one you would pronounce eh. Eh. Now that's actually a combination of two of the other vowels that we looked at, but you put them together, eh. So if I was to do something like that, I think you can guess that this creates the y sound because it has that extra dash going across. So we have eh and then we have y. Our next one is not that. It's not that either. It's that. This is simply an air sound. Now this is, this is where it gets a little bit annoying, because many of these characters, many of these vowels have the same sounds as each other, even though you write them differently. So this one here, e, is exactly the same as this one here, e. It's just something you have to remember. So I think we can all guess that if I was to put in that character, that is creating a ye sound. Why? Because it has that other little extra dash going across. So we have ye, ye. All the same. How frustrating. Unless I'm pronouncing them wrong, but I'm pretty sure they have the same, or at least incredibly similar sort of pronunciation. This one here, one of my favorites. Wa. 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 Very simple. If we put in that and then, oh god, that and then, not that. That, and I've lost it now. That. No, that doesn't work. Why is that not typing correctly? Oh, like this. This one would be written we. So wa, we. This kind of sort of H character, it has that sort of e sound. This upwards character, which we had here, o. You mix them together and it becomes like we, and you sort of say them quickly and it makes that sort of W sound. Our next one is that, which is written as we. Annoyingly, it is the same pronunciation, I believe. Wa, we. So this one and this one, they sound the same when you say them. Next one, we have that. Okay, let's write it down here. So this one would be not that. Yeah. War. So this T is a sort of The character that's pointing that way is the o, so it's uo, and it becomes wo when you say them together. Next one is going to be that same sort of downward pointing character, but with this, which would be we. Wo, we. So I believe, again annoyingly, where, I think this one, and this one are the same. I think the same sound. If we have another one here, which is this sound here, this is we, because it's again this sort of T character is that straight line character is I, and it becomes we when you say it quickly. Next one, it's not that. Is that, and that's the same oui. Oui. Very similar. Very, very similar. I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing them wrong, most likely, but many of them have a very similar sound to it. So if we look at them again very quickly, a, ya, o, yo, u, you, you, I, they're the sort of basic vowels. Ye, wa, we, wo, we. I think that's right. Now, those are the vowels. We're sort of going through this quickly so I can get on to writing some Korean. We're now going to do consonants. Consonants are much easier, much easier. I'm going to start with that one. Now, again, slightly annoyingly, in Korean, certain characters can have two different sounds depending on where they are in the word. Like if a consonant or a vowel comes before it or after it, or depending on where it is, it will have a different sound. So this 7 is a g or a k sound. It's a very, very soft g, k. They kind of blur together. But if you were to say, if you have a character that looks like this, no, not that, God, this, where it's that same character sort of jammed together, you get a much harsher k sound. So that character and that character, they're the same. Oh, it's like, I think it's called non-aspirated and aspirated sounds. As in non-aspirated, you say it softly, aspirated, you say it strongly. So if this character was in a word, it would be a soft g. But if this character was in a word, it would be a strong k. Let's continue. The next one, it's a very common one it seems, is this, which is a n sound. N, very simple. Our next one here is this funny looking thing, which is either a D or a T sound, like D or T. But again, if you aspirate it, I think that's the right word. If you say it strongly, it becomes that, which is sort of written like a strong T sound. So when it's on its own, it's much softer, but when there's two of them together, it's much stronger. Another one we have is, if I can find it on the keyboard, which I can't, hang on. There it is, that character. Now, this is the one that I think about the most when you're talking about letters, sounds that are, it changes depending on where the character is. So this can either be an R, like a R, or a L. And they can become very close together in how similar they sound. So you either just have to learn it, or you have to get good at listening clearly to work out, what's being said. Okay, our next one is a nice easy one. It's this little box, which is simply an sound. So if you're saying like ma, which is mom in Korean, that would be a m. Next one is this, that one there, which would become a b or a p sound. Again, you can kind of say either say it as a B or as a P, it seems, but as long as they're very soft. But if you aspirate them, as in if you say them very strongly, it sort of becomes this, that's not right at all, hang on. If we aspirate them, it sort of becomes a very strong p sound, like there's a big puff of air as you say it. Next one is that. Now, this one confused me for a long time. It is an S sound. So if you wanted to say the sound sa, right, you'd literally write like, not that. You'd literally write like that. Sa. It's like a proper S sound. But later on, when it's in different positions, it becomes a T. I'm not entirely sure why, but it does. But sometimes we're going to say it very quietly, sometimes we're going to say it strongly, but usually it's an S. Now, do you remember at the very beginning when I said that this character is silent? It's a lie. Well, no, it is silent in these examples here, right? That doesn't do anything. Like a, ya, or yo. But when this character is at the end of a word, you'll see as I write it. But if it's at the end, it actually becomes ng. Like how you'd say bang or hang. You know, it's that ng sound. So when we get into writing, you'll see that a lot, and you'll be able to work out, is it silent? If it's here, it's silent, but if it's there, it's this sort of noise. Next one is that. Again, there are a few that are very similar. This is effectively a j. So if you wanted to say like ja, as in J-A, ja, you'd use that character there for j. But if you aspirate it, as in if you say it strongly, it becomes something something. Not that, that's a W. It becomes that. Again, it's just a kind of like stronger, harsher, you know, version of it. And I've realized I've missed one out, so I'm gonna write it here. And it's the aspirated version of that S one. It's like a stronger version. So some of these characters have their sort of double forms, which means they're said more strongly and you can hear them more strongly. Oh yeah, so this one is j, but then when you have one that has a little hat on it, if I can find it on the keyboard, which I can't at the moment, hang on. It's amazing how difficult it becomes just looking for new characters you're not used to on a keyboard. Ah, there it is. So it's very similar to this one, this j, except you see it has this little dash. I usually write it as a horizontal line, but sometimes it's a vertical line. It's the same thing. And this is would be pronounced ch, like chat or change, is that ch sound. Then we have this one, this one here. This is pronounced, it's kind of the same as, this one here is kind of the same as this one. You know, it's a harsh k sound. In fact, something I'll tell you, if you go on a Korean YouTube video, very often in the comments you'll see this. Like someone will have a comment and then it will say that, just like that. And if you read that, you read it as that's the Korean version of lol, LOL, because when you say it's as if someone's giggling or laughing. So, you know, on an English video, someone would put LOL, meaning laugh out loud, but in Korean, it's a sort of, what's the word, like a phonetic thing. So you'd read the thing and then like a sort of giggle. So, next one. Nearly done. Next one is, it looks like the letter E, but it's not the letter E. There it is. Let me just do it down here, actually. Nope. This one is, yeah, it's simply a t sound. So when I write my name in English, I would, you know, or you're writing any word in English, in Korean, sorry, that creates, so if you want to do a tap or two, if you're writing tap, that would be a t, easy. Next one, there it is. This one is quite simply a p sound. So if I wanted to write pear, you know, I'd use that character to write p. And then the last one, thankfully, is that one, which is it's literally just H. So if I wanted to write ha, like if I wanted to write ha ha ha, as in laughing, it's that. So this character here is the h, that character there, I don't know why I'm pointing, that character there is a, but we lose that sort of silent one. And then we put this sort of H on and it becomes ha. So we're going to go through these again for my own benefit. Vowels, and then those are consonants at the end. So we have a, ya, o, yo, u, yo, you, I. Mix them together. Yeah, yeah. I'm not entirely sure I'm doing that right, but it's something like that. Wa, we, wo, we, ui. Now the consonants: g, k, n, d, t, r, m, b, p, s, n, j, s, ch, k, t, pa, ha. And that's it. Now, I think the real difficulty comes in how similar different characters can be in terms of their sound. They look different, but they sound the same. So often when I'm reading, I'm probably going to make sort of many mistakes in that area. But overall, it's not as difficult as it first appears. You know, if you have this sort of this map, and then you just, you know, look at the characters and then check on your thing and just say it, it all comes together quite easily. So in the next video, I'm going to be reading from a book, because I have a sort of Korean textbook that I'm working through. It's very simple. It's very easily, sort of casually written. And I'm literally going to read what's on the page and write the words out on the screen. And in doing so, hopefully that will help me sort of retain it more. Anyway, thank you all, and I hope I see you again in the next video.